can participate. Set delay between message. అమ్మా ఇన్ని ఉన్నాయా?
अभी आया नाइस।
ऐसे ऐसे लगा के देखो। अभी देखो मैं सीधा आ रहे अక్కడ పెట్టరా
हवा लगा के आ रहे।
లైట్ ఎక్కువ
ये ऊपर की
ये कुर्सियाँ दिखा।
अरे ऐसे ही लगाए तो टेढ़ा आ रहा सर वो।
नहीं नहीं अरे इधर अब दिक्कत है स्टैंड स्टैंड है दोनों
स्टैंड
स्टैंड ऐसा हो
ये
हाँ हाँ ये पूरा स्टैंड है घुमाओ
स्टैंड ही घुमाऊं।
अभी देखो
पलटी कर ऐसा करनी है।
इधर लगाओ
इसको रिवर्स कैसे करनी
ऐसा
हाँ।
करो।
क्या है ना
क्या
क्या जाना?
क्या पढ़ दो ना ये अगर लेटे से कुछ ही करो
हाँ अभी आया लाइव।
आपको
मेरा फोन है ना वो
वही मेरे को दिखना ना इसमें
नहीं दिख रहा।
बफर हो रहा है मैं दिखते सीधा हो रहा है हेलो मैं चेक लगा
तब ऐसे इतना बस है तब भी उसमें देखो मालूम होता ना आपको।
और नीचे करो थोड़ा
लाइव क्लैरिटी नहीं आ रहा सर।
फोन में उनको बाद में दिख रहे या बात करने के बाद उधर दिख रहे
ना
ऑरेंज
दोनों आए।
ये देखो साउंड नया आ रहा बेटा
आते
एक फोन ఒకటి
4545 अभी देखो क्लैरिटी है।
हेलो कैन यू
मेरा साउंड बाजू का दबो
ये
हाँ अभी आ रहा ना सर देखो क्लियर।
तो लेता कर
मेरा साउंड बाजू का दबो हाँ
वेलकम टू लाइव चैट
दोनों है।
इसी पे पूरे आ रहे हैं वहाँ बैठो
देखो इसमें आ रहा ना पूरा
सीधा आ रहे
हाँ ना
सर
Okay, my dear students, welcome to live. Today's live is the Grand Test 1 syllabus. We discuss about Grand Test 1 syllabus. Grand Test 1 syllabus. Okay, so first and foremost, today we'll discuss about gunshot questions. First Grand Test question, first chapter. There are 6 chapters. First chapter, reflection of light at curved surface, reflection of light at curved surfaces. Second chapter, chemical reaction equations and chemical reactions and equations. Third chapter, acids and bases. Acids and bases. Fourth chapter, refraction of light at curved surfaces. Refraction of light at curved surface. Fifth chapter, human eye and colorful world. Human eye and colorful world. Sixth chapter, atomic structure or structure of atom. Structure of an atom. Okay, and these are the questions, these are the chapters we have for this grand test. Okay, and what we do, very exactly gunshot questions I'll discuss with you. So what are the gunshot questions? Chapter wise gunshot questions I'll discuss with you. So the first question, so I'm erasing. We'll go with the chapter wise. So what are the questions we need to read in the first chapter? What are the questions we need to read in second chapter? What are the questions we need to read in the third chapter? Like continuously we'll discuss exactly gunshot questions. Okay, from first chapter, so gunshot questions from the first chapter. So first gunshot questions. Here I am writing gunshot questions. From 1 to 6 chapters. 1 to 6 chapters. So the first chapter we are having question number 1. First chapter I'll discuss with you 4-mark question. What is a 4-mark question? So write the nature and image of object when we placed in front of the concave mirror. That is a 4-mark question. Very important question. So the question is what actually? So the question is write the nature and position of image formed when object is placed in front of concave mirror. That is a 4-mark question. So generally we know that question number 1. So the question number 1 is write or draw an image formed in front of concave mirror. In front of concave mirror when object is placed. When an object is placed, so in front of the mirror. So this is the first question. Write the nature and position of image when object is placed in front of a concave mirror. There are 6 cases. Case 1, you draw this. This is what actually a concave mirror, and generally we know exactly the optical, here the geometrical center is called pole. So a horizontal line drawn through the pole is called our principal axis. Generally pole is followed by the focus. Focus is followed by the center of curvature. Now object is placed. This is what actually O is the position of object. Object is placed here. To draw this, first we draw a line from top of object which touches the concave mirror, and the reflected, you must keep the arrow so that the reflected ray passes through focus. And second line from top of object you take which is passing through the center of curvature, and the reflected ray passes parallel to the principal axis. Now these two reflected rays meet at a point which is exactly in front of between the C and it will appear between, actually it appears between C and F, between C and F. This is called image. This is called image. When object is placed beyond C, the image appears between F and C. So this is the first case. It is a 4-mark question. I'll discuss hardly very few questions. These questions, gunshot questions. So I'm explaining you only the 4 mark question in detail. Rest of other questions I'll discuss with you orally. And see, this is what actually, here this is a concave mirror. It's the geometric center is called pole. Draw a line, horizontal line. Pole followed by the focus, focus followed by the center of curvature. This is center of curvature. Now by placing actually object at C, draw the ray diagrams. One is from top of object and its reflected ray passes through focus, and from top of object which is passing through focus, the reflected ray passes parallel to the principal axis. So now these intersect exactly at point C. Now in this case, the object and image appears in the same position. It's very important. They'll ask you the question for 2 marks. Draw a ray diagram where object and image forms at same point. They maybe twist the question. Okay, and this second case. And next third case we know that. So what is in second case, if object is placed at center of curvature, image is also forms at center of curvature.
Which class telling what you want? Which class?
They are
for
saying
which
to
subject?
repeat the question.
Okay, it is sorry, it is a class 10th. Class 10th physical science. Class 10th physical science. Children, it is a class 10 physical science. Physical science, chapter 1. Class 10 physical science, chapter 1. Actually, the new viewers, I don't have an idea the new viewers. Already I informed a few of my students to catch up this so that they followed, they know about this in a program. And the new followers, you see that it is a class 10 physical science. The name of the chapter is the reflection of light at curved surface. The gunshot question is write the nature and position of image formed when object is placed in front of concave mirror. There are 6 cases we are having. Case 1, when object is placed beyond the center of curvature. Case 2, when object is placed at center of curvature. And case 3, when object is placed between center of curvature and exactly at focus. Now I am drawing here case 3. So case 3, this is what a concave mirror. It is a concave mirror. The geometrical center exactly, this is called pole. The horizontal line drawn through the pole is called principal axis. Pole followed by the focus and focus followed by the center of curvature. Now we place the object between focus and center of curvature. So this is what actually, when object is placed between focus and center of curvature, we see that nature of image, position of image appears and nature of image form. Now to know that, draw 2 ray diagrams. One is top of object. I am drawing a ray diagram from top of object. So the reflected ray appears, passes through focus, and next ray diagram passes through focus. The reflected ray passes parallel to the principal axis. Then these 2 reflected rays intersect here, and when we draw a perpendicular line through here, with this it's very clear that when we place the object between focus and center of curvature, the image appears beyond the center of curvature. This is case 3. Now case 4, when object is placed at focus, focal point or focus, what is the nature of image appears? Okay, next. So this is what actually in the case 4, you draw a figure. This is called a concave mirror, and optical center, exactly the geometrical center is called pole. A parallel line, a horizontal line drawn through the pole is called principal axis, and pole followed by the focus, focus followed by the center of curvature. Now I am placing the object at point F. This is when I place the object at point F. Now we'll know that where the image appears. Now you take 2 rays, one ray from top of object which is parallel to the principal axis, then its reflected ray, we know the rules of ray diagram. The reflected ray appears, passes through focus, and next ray diagram draw in the direction of center of curvature. See, next ray diagram draw in the direction of center of curvature, then the reflected ray appears in the same path opposite in direction. You see that both the reflected rays are parallel to each other. When both the reflected rays are parallel to each other, then image does not exist. When object is placed at the focal point, image does not exist. That is what actually fourth point. And fifth point, when object is placed between pole and focus. When object is placed between pole and focus, when object is placed, so now here this is what actually a concave mirror. So to draw the concave mirror, you draw a semicircular arc. Left side you draw the shade, that is nothing but symbol of concave mirror. When you shade right side, then it is nothing but convex mirror. So the symbols of concave and convex mirror we represent in such a way. We draw a semicircular arc. When you shade left side, it looks like a concave mirror. When you shade right side, it looks like a convex mirror. These are the drawing structures of a concave mirror and convex mirror. Now, this is a pole, principal axis. So now pole followed by the focus, focus followed by the center of curvature. Now we place the object between pole and focus. Here I am placing. Now what we do, draw the ray diagrams. One is parallel to the principal axis, its reflected ray passes through focus. Another is in the direction of what actually center of curvature, then reflected ray appears in same path. So when you extend it backward direction with the dots, then these dots meet at a point. So here the image appears. This is called virtual image. This is called a virtual image. If position of object and position of image on either side of the mirror, then the image is said to be virtual image. So this is very important gunshot question. What is the name? What is the question? Write the nature and position of image formed when an object is placed in front of concave mirror at various positions. That is what actually question. And next important gunshot question, I'll explain you. How do we find focal length of the mirror? Lab activity. How do we find focal length of the mirror? How do we find focal length of the mirror? So it's for this you need to, for this we need to write a question like a aim. Next material required, next procedure, and next we are having observations, next conclusion. For every lab activity, these perspectives are compulsory. For every lab activity, these perspectives are compulsory. Okay. So what is the question? The next gunshot question is, find the focal length of the mirror by find the focal length of the mirror. Explain with an activity, or explain an activity which is showing that focal length of the mirror. This is there are only two questions we may expect from this chapter for essay type question. So the essay type question, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So aim is what actually finding the focal length of the concave mirror. Finding the focal length of the concave mirror. Material required is what? Concave mirror, and next measuring scale, and next V stand, and next candle, and matchstick. These are the materials. And procedure: take a long take the long table, take the V stand. This is called V stand. Now place a concave mirror over the V stand. Now back of the V stand you take one screen. So this is a screen. Now what actually you take a candle. You take the candle. So now you place the candle in front of a concave mirror. Now place the screen in front of this. Adjust the screen. And notice that exactly where the image appears on the screen. Now you measure the distance between this mirror and candle and distance between mirror and image. This is object distance and image distance UV. And this U and V value substitute in the formula 1 by F is equals 1 by U plus 1 by V. So the simplified value is nothing but focal length of the mirror, focal length of the concave mirror. So this is what actually an important question. And next we discuss from this chapter 2 mark questions we'll discuss. What are the 2 mark questions we'll get? See the 2 mark questions from this chapter. First 2 mark question is what? Write the difference between concave mirror and convex mirror. Generally we know that concave mirror, a concave mirror and convex mirror. A converging mirror is concave mirror, a diverging mirror is convex mirror.
Formula.
Okay. So the formula 1 by F is equals 1 by U plus 1 by V. This is the mirror formula. Ma. Here F is called focal length, U is called object distance and V is called image distance. Okay, I'll give you 1 more question. We will get 1 more time. And next, see first 2 mark question, gunshot question. Write the difference between convex mirror and concave mirror. Only 4 differences you need to write. Concave mirror. What is a converging mirror is called as concave mirror. What is a convex mirror? A diverging mirror is called as convex mirror. Next, concave mirror, it is having reflecting surface toward the center of curvature. Convex mirror is having reflecting surface away from the center of curvature. So it is reflecting surface and it is opaque surface, and here reflecting surface, opaque surface. Okay, concave mirror is having reflecting surface toward the center of curvature from the center of curvature, and concave mirror is used where we used in dentist, and we used in what actually shopping malls. But convex mirror we used in only solar cookers, but rest of others. So here concave mirror, uses of concave mirror and uses of convex mirror, that is the difference. But now we are having the question, what is the difference between the concave mirror and convex mirror? Concave mirror is a mirror which is converging mirror, convex mirror is a diverging mirror. Concave mirror is having reflecting surface toward the center of curvature. Convex mirror is having reflecting surface behind the center of curvature. And concave mirror in all the time, majority of all the times will produce the real images. Convex mirror always it produces what actually virtual images. So that is the difference between concave and convex. This is a 2 mark question. You read from and next 1 more 2 mark question. Draw a figure which shows that image and object appears in the same position. Draw a figure, draw a ray diagram in what case the image and object appears in same position. So that is what actually when object is, this is what actually concave mirror, and this is a pole, principal axis, pole followed by the focus and the center of curvature. Now when we place the object at center of curvature, so you draw a ray diagram, top of object you draw a line parallel to the principal axis, its reflected ray appears, passes through focus, and draw a line passing through the focus, reflected ray passes parallel to the principal axis. These 2 reflected rays meet here. This is what when you draw this, when object is placed at center of curvature, even image also appears at center of curvature. This is what many times they asked. From this chapter, we have only 2 mark questions. This and 1 more question I'll discuss with you. So 1 more question now I'm discussing. So here I am discussing only gunshot questions because we have a very short span of time. So I'm discussing only gunshot questions. So 1 more question. So write the mirror formula. Write the mirror formula. So the mirror formula is 1 by F is equals 1 by U plus 1 by V. This is the mirror formula. And write the magnification formula. Magnification M is equals minus V by U, or Magnification M is equals to height of the image by height of object. These two formulas are very important. What is the mirror formula? 1 by f is equals 1 by u plus 1 by v. And what is the magnification? And what is the magnification? Magnification, it's a ratio between the image distance and object distance. What is the use of the magnification? With the use of magnification, how small or how big the object we measure. And we will come to know that how small or how big the object is, we learn from this magnification. Is it clear? So one more question, write the mirror formula, 1 by f is equals 1 by u plus 1 by v. Write the magnification formula, m is equals minus v by u. These two formulas you remember, it's very important for you. You will get one more question from this. And next, here one more gunshot question, and it's easier question. What are the uses of concave mirror? So what are the uses of concave mirror? You remember that dentists use concave mirror, and what actually then next concave mirror, dentists use concave mirror, and in solar rice cookers concave mirror is used, and in shopping malls concave mirror is used, and in telescopes, in other electrical optical devices concave mirror is used. These 4 points you write down. So what are the uses of concave mirror? Concave mirror is used by dentists in medical field. Concave mirror is used in shopping malls, and concave mirror is used in solar rice cookers. These 3 points enough for if it is given for 1 mark. So and next we are having what is a virtual image and difference between the virtual image and real image. Difference between the virtual image and real image. Real image, the image which exactly appears by the intersecting of two reflected rays is called real image. What is a virtual image? Virtual image is an image which appears by extending the reflected rays. This is called a virtual image. Real image always appears toward the object, and virtual image appears behind the object. See, object position and image position same set to the mirror, then the image is said to be real. And object position and image position either side of the mirror, then that is a virtual image. But real image we can catch on the screen. Virtual image we can see, but we cannot catch on the screen. And real image movies and cinema theaters, the image which fall on the screen is the real image. These are the difference between the real image and the virtual image. And children, with this first chapter gunshot questions are finished. And next we are entering into the second chapter gunshot questions. In second chapter gunshot questions, first, what is the chemical equation? What is the chemical equation? So what is the chemical equation? The symbolic representation of a chemical reaction is called a chemical equation. Chemical equation ante emiti? Chemical reaction ni symbols form lo rayadaanni chemical equation antaru. What is the chemical equation? A chemical reaction is symbolic presentation or symbolic representation lo rayadaanni chemical equation antaru. Example manakenti, if lime is added to the water, it produces lime water. Itla oral ga cheppadanni manam chemical reaction antamu. Ee chemical reaction ni nenu equation lo rastunnanu. Lime CaO, it is solid state, and water H2O, liquid state. Then it is become CaOH taken twice.
Supermarket
Sir, clean set.
Yeah. In supermarkets also we use concave mirrors. We use in supermarket, children. You are right. You can write that because general questions you can write your own answers. You don't worry, because physics is what some scientific question and some general information you can add. Okay. And this is what chemical equation. And from this second chapter, one gunshot question, that is a balancing chemical equation. What is a balancing chemical equation? A chemical equation in which number of reactants towards the LHS side equal to number of atoms in reactant side, both are equal, then that is said to be balanced chemical equation. So balanced chemical equation, for example, here I am writing, it's very important. Zinc plus hydrogen chloride, which is ZnCl2 plus hydrogen. ఇప్పుడు బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ అంటారు ఇక్కడ విల్ రైట్ దిస్ ఇస్ LHS side, it is RHS side, and LHS side will write atoms. What are the atoms? We have elements. What are the elements? Zinc is one element and hydrogen is element, chlorine is element. Now we'll write LHS side, means for towards the reactant. These are called reactants, these are called products. Now one zinc, one hydrogen, one chlorine, and towards product one zinc, but chlorines are 2, hydrogens are 2. We see that here these hydrogens and chlorines are not equal, so that it is a balanced chemical equation, so that it is a unbalanced chemical equation. And unbalanced chemical equation is also called as skeleton chemical equation. And children, to make it balanced, will select we take one least positive integer. ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని బ్యాలెన్స్ చేయడానికి మనం చాలా చిన్న పాజిటివ్ ఇంటీజర్ తీసుకోవాలి, అప్పుడే బ్యాలెన్స్ చేయాలి. బ్యాలెన్స్ చేయడానికి ఎంత పెద్ద నెంబర్ అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు. రూల్స్ ప్రకారం ఏంటంటే లీస్ట్ పాజిటివ్ ఇంటీజర్ తీసుకొని బ్యాలెన్స్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ సో బ్యాలెన్స్ ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్, సో హియర్ chlorines are 2, so I am taking 2 is here, and so when I take 2 here, 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorines, 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorine, it is a balanced.
Sir again बोल रहे.
Children, balancing chemical equation చేసేటప్పుడు చాలా చిన్న నంబర్ తీసుకోవాలి. Means what? Least positive integer. Means what? Take a small number to balance, don't take a larger number. Larger number, it is a quite violate the rule of balancing. So the rule of balancing the chemical equation by taking least positive integer. छोटा नंबर लेके बैलेंस करना, लाइक 1 2 3 4 4 तक लेना, 5 6 7 दट लिए तो बैलेंसिंग केमिकल इक्वेशन रॉन्ग बोलते. सो పెద్ద నంబర్ తీసుకుంటే బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ కెమికల్ ఈక్వేషన్ ఇట్స్ క్వైట్ రాంగ్. సో యూ టేక్ అ స్మాల్ నెంబర్ టు బ్యాలెన్స్ ద కెమికల్.
అంటే కదా ఉన్నదా 6 మెంబర్స్ హలో నువ్వు అటెల్ ఒకసారి. సార్ వీడియో ఈజ్ నాట్ కమింగ్. సరే ప్రతి నిమిషం దా
Okay, sorry, due to net problem, bit inconvenience. Okay, and anyhow, this live is going to be record. So after the record, also you can see this live and you can learn. And from first to second chapter, chapter 2, chemical equations. Chapter 2, chemical equations. First question is what? Balancing. Balance the equations. Balance the chemical equations. Balance the chemical equations. It's a very important question for 4 marks. This is what actually 4-mark question. And next we are having another question. Why we should balance chemical equation? Why we should balance a chemical equation? Why we should balance the chemical equation. This is a important question. Why we should balance the chemical equation? As per the law of conservation of mass, mass neither be created nor destroyed during, before and after the chemical reaction, so that balancing chemical equation is compulsory and must and should. So the balancing chemical equation is compulsory and must and should. Okay, so it is a very important one mark question. Why should we balance the chemical equation? So the answer is, according to the law of conservation of mass neither be created nor destroyed. It remains same before and after chemical reaction, so that it's a very important question for 2 marks. And next, from this we have one more question. What is that? Okay. So here, why we should balance a chemical? See, from second chapter only balancing chemical equations, and this the calculation part. Calculation part is a different mark. So that calculation part I'll explain, because net we have inconvenience. Go for the third chapter, chapter 3. Chapter 3, we are having acids, bases, and salts. So it is very easy to learn this chapter than our second chapter. సో ఈ చాప్టర్ చాలా ఈజీగా చదువుకోవచ్చు. దీంట్లో మనకి క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటమ్మా అంటే 4 మార్క్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏమడుగుతాయంటే, రైట్ ఓకే ఆల్ ద కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్స్ ఆఫ్ యాసిడ్స్ అండ్ బేసెస్, రైట్ ద కెమికల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆఫ్ యాసిడ్స్ అండ్ బేసెస్ అనేది వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ చాప్టర్. 4 మార్క్ క్వశ్చన్. And one more 4 mark question that everyone knows, that explain an activity which shows that acid reacts with the metals and produce hydrogen gas. Explain an activity. ఇది మీరు చాలా సార్లు ఎగ్జామ్ రాశారు. దీంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి 4 mark question ఏది వస్తుందంటే, what is that? Explain an activity, acid reacts with the metal, produce hydrogen gas. Already you know that activity, what actually test tube, and here we take acid and we add zinc granules, and this is single hole rubber car, and this is called delivery tube. And next, this delivery tube, what we do actually, we allow this delivery tube into the soap water. This is soap water. And the gas which is released, here we use actually a lightning candle. This lightning candle turn off with the pop sound. So it's important for 4 mark question. Explain an activity which shows that acid reacts with the metals and produce hydrogen gas. Acid reacts with the metals and produce hydrogen gas. So you take this and call him. Sir is taking class. సార్ ఆన్లైన్లో ఉన్నారు, తర్వాత కాల్ చేస్తారు. ఓకే, ఇది 4 మార్క్ క్వశ్చన్ అమ్మా. 4 మార్క్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి? రైట్ అన్ యాక్టివిటీ విచ్ షోస్ దట్ యాసిడ్ రియాక్ట్స్ విత్ ద మెటల్స్ అండ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ హైడ్రోజన్ గ్యాస్. ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, పక్కా క్వశ్చన్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ దీంట్లో పక్కా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, రైట్ ద కెమికల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద యాసిడ్స్ అండ్ బేసెస్. Write the chemical properties of acids and bases. Write the chemical properties of acids and bases. For first chemical property, first one, acids reacts with the metals, produce hydrogen gas. Like you write down, acid reacts with the metals, produce salt plus gas. ఇది ఒక కెమికల్ ఈక్వేషన్ కంపల్సరీ రాయాలమ్మా. And your acid is what? HCl, and metal is what? Zinc. And then amma, the question is what? Write the chemical properties of acids and bases. Write the chemical properties. Write the chemical properties. First chemical property, acid reacts with the metal, produce salt and gas. యాసిడ్ అంటే ఒక యాసిడ్ రాయాలి ఇక్కడ, 2HCl plus zinc, it is become ZnCl2, it is a salt, and plus hydrogen gas. And next, acid reacts with the non-metals. Non-metals produce salt and gas. Acid అంటే HCl తీసుకోండి. Non-metal, you take any non-metal.
Sir, say in English.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, acid reacts with the metals, produce salts and gas. Okay. First, acid reacts with the metal, produce salts and gas. And second, acid react with the base, produce salts and water. Third, acid reacts with the carbonates and produce the salt, carbon dioxide and water. So these 4 reactions compulsory you write, you will get 4 marks. 4 mark question is right. Write the chemical properties of acids. So major two, these are the two questions, and one more 4 mark question. It is a easier question. How do we make chemical equation more informative? How do we make a chemical equation more informative? This is very, you know that, right? Using symbols we can more informative. And what actually writing, so here, how do we make chemical equation more informative? This is the question. First, to make more informative, we write their states of matter. If solid S, liquid L, gas Z. For example, I am writing here. So, what actually HCl in aqueous state and react with the zinc in the solid state produces ZnCl2 in the aqueous state plus hydrogen in the gaseous state. See,
Slowly.
okay, ma'am. First, how do we make chemical equation more? First, you write the question. How do we make a chemical equation more informative? How do we make a chemical equation?
Sir, write in big size.
Okay, I'll write in big size. అది కొద్ది కొద్ది దగ్గర పెట్టున్నాను. How do we make chemical equation more informative? This is a pakka gunshot question, beta. This is a pakka gunshot question. For this, you write first by representing states of matter. By writing states, we can make more informative. Second, by writing states, we can make more informative. And next, exothermic and endothermic. By keeping exothermic and endothermic. So generally we know that if chemical equation is exothermic, we put plus Q symbol. If chemical equation endothermic, we use a minus Q symbol. And in a chemical equation, if a material is solid, we use a symbol S. In a chemical equation, if material is a liquid, we use a symbol L. In a chemical equation, if a material is a solution, we use AQ. In a chemical equation, if material is a precipitate, we use a symbol like a down arrow. In a chemical equation, if what is the material is a gas, we use up arrow. This information, if you write, this is enough for you. So the question is what? How do we make a chemical equation more informative? And this by writing states, we can make more informative. By keeping plus Q exothermic chemical equation, by keeping minus Q endothermic chemical equation. If a substance is solid, we'll write S. If substance is liquid, we write L. If substance is solution, we'll write AQ. If substance is precipitate, we write symbol arrow downward direction. If substance is gaseous state, we put upward direction. So by using these symbols, we make chemical equation is more informative. Amma, from this only two gunshot question. This one and lab activity. What is that? Explain an activity. Metals react with the acids and produce what actually? Salt and gas. Okay. And now I'll discuss with the 2-mark gunshot question. So from this 2-mark question, easier 2-mark question. So what is that? How do indigestion? No. So what actually? How do acids and bases play a role in the digestion process? How acids and bases play a role in the digestion process? Okay. How do we reduce indigestion? So when a person is suffering from indigestion, if we take an antacid tablet is a basic in nature. This basic nature medicine, when we consume, it reacts with the acid present in the stomach. It neutralizes excess acid present in the stomach. This reaction is called as neutralization reaction. Thus, a person suffering from acidity, he cure the acidity problem. See that? How do acids and bases play a role in the digestion? It is important 2-mark question. It's important 2-mark question.
Sir, explain interpreting a balanced chemical question.
Okay, beta. That is interpreting. I'll explain you. But after discussing gunshot questions, I'll explain you surely. But I'm having short of data, so that quickly I'm revealing the important gunshot questions. At the end, interpreting, I will explain you. Okay. Amma, 3rd chapter, 2-mark question, the role of acids in the digestion, and what is the neutralization chemical reaction? What is the neutralization chemical reaction? When acid react with the base, it produces salts and water. Acid plus base equal to salt plus water. Acid plus base equal to salt plus water. Any chemical reaction where acid react with the base produce salt and water is called neutralization reaction. Amma. It's a very important question. What is neutralization reaction? And next you will get a pH. That is very important. What is the pH? pH based we will get one data based question. They will give pH value. They'll ask you which is the acid, which is the base, and which is salt. pH is what? The formula of pH is what? Minus log concentration of H plus to the base 10. This is a pH formula. Who introduced the pH? Sorensen is introduced the pH. Sorensen introduced the pH. Sorensen introduced the pH. Okay. And here pH value greater than 7, it's a base. pH value less than 7, it's acid. pH equal to 7, this is what actually neutral or salt. You must remember, based on this you will get a data based question for 4 marks. So here you will get a 4-mark question. I'll explain you. So pH value and material. pH value, material. Here you see that material A. So here material pH value. Material A pH is 3, material B pH is 7, material C pH is 8, and material D pH is 1. They will give you the question like this, data based, and they will ask you what they'll ask you. They'll ask you among this material which are the bases, which are the acids, and which are the salts. So you notice that A pH value is less than 7, it is the acid. C pH value is greater than 7, so it is a base. D pH value less than 7, it is the acid. B C pH value 7, it is what actually neutral or salt. So like that you sort it out and write the acids, bases and salts. It's important question. They may ask you. And next 1-mark question they will ask you. This figure they will give you. This figure they will give you. What is this figure? This figure is a warning sign during dilution. It's a very important question. Warning sign during dilution. Here we know that a test tube from where the drops of acid is falling. Here are the hands. You know that this is a hand. What is the use of this symbol? This symbol is actually in every acid bottle and every base bottle, concentrated acid and concentrated base. So over a sticker, this symbol is compulsory printed. What is the use of this symbol? This symbol guides us and advises us what actually during concentration of the dilution of the acid, we must add drops of acid to the water, not drops of water to the acid, because dilution is an exothermic chemical reaction. So they will give you one more question, this symbol, write the importance of this symbol. What is the importance of this symbol? This symbol gives us a precaution during dilution. It is a warning sign during dilution. This is important. This is a warning sign during dilution. Check it better. Any message?
No, sir.
Next.
How many marks this question is?
These all are 1 mark question. Here only 2 4-mark question. One is the lab activity and other is what actually the pH value and table they give, pH value and the table. And next 2-mark question they'll ask you what is the role of pH in the digestion system. That is a 2-mark question. And what is the neutralization chemical reaction? It is a 2-mark question. So 1
Sir,
mark.
drop of water or acid?
Drop of acid add to the more amount of water. Drop of acid add to the more amount of water, but not a drop of water to the more amount of. Is it clear? And next we go for 4th chapter lo. Mere only ray diagrams చూసుకోండి. 4th chapter లో 2 formulas. So there are 2 formulas in the 4th chapter that is called refraction of light at a curved surface. The name of 4th chapter, chapter 4. Chapter 4, refraction of light at curved surface. Refraction of light at curved surface. We know curved surface formula 1 by f is equals n minus 1 into.
Sir, light reflection is coming from both things.
Oh, okay. Then you on that.
So that
They
is
on
also-
here. Is this clear? Is this clear? Check it once. Once you check it. This is.
Sir, this question is for grand test.
Yeah. This is
Sir, formula.
formula of curved surface. They will ask you the question. Write the formula of curved surface. 1 by f is equals n minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. You only practice.
That is coming more in.
You go through that and later next time we'll see that all the modifications whenever required. I'll check what are the problems today. Live is already, they will store. Actually live is not deleted. Live always store in my channel. I'll check it next time what are the problems we are facing during live. I'll rectify it because next time I will teach mathematics and Pakka planningly with the full-fledged data availability. Today data is very less. That second chapter problem I'll explain you because here visibility problem is there. Morning, okay, last at the end of session I'll explain you one data interpretation question. Let me complete more 3 chapters gunshot question. From this chapter, what is this formula? What is the question here? Write the formula of curved surface. Write the formula curved surface 1 by f is equals, and this is also called as lens maker formula. lens maker formula. There are two formulas. So what actually 1 by f is equals to n2 by v minus n1 by u. This formula is what actually, it is curved surface formula and it is a lens maker formula. There are two formulas, curved surface formula and lens maker formula. Curved surface formula and lens here n2 by v minus n1 by u is equals n2 minus n1 by r. It is a formula. This is called a curved surface formula and it is a lens maker formula. These two formulas you remember from this chapter, and from this chapter gunshot question, that is draw the ray diagrams of lens. And you see that this is a symbol of concave lens and this is a symbol of convex lens. These are the symbols of concave lens and convex lens. See, mirror is different and lens is different. Now I am showing that ray diagrams, convex lens. So what actually, this is a convex lens. The exactly center is called as optic center pole. The line drawn through this is called as a pole. Now we know that pole followed by focus F1, F2, focus followed by center of curvature C1, C2. So for this lens, both the sides we are having focus and center of curvature. For this lens, both the sides we have center of curvature and focus. So if object is placed, for example, if object is placed beyond center of curvature, now see first ray diagram drawing from top of object. The first reflected ray passes through focus. Second ray diagram passing through pole, it travels straight. You see that the image appears exactly between focus and center of curvature. So from this 4-mark question, only this ray diagrams. From this chapter 4-mark question, only this ray diagram, lens ray diagram. First chapter mirror ray diagram. Fourth chapter we have a lens ray diagram. Very important questions. First what actually, draw the image formed when object is placed beyond center of curvature. When object is placed beyond center of curvature of the convex lens, biconvex lens, there are types of lens we'll discuss later. This is called biconvex lens. So now image is formed between focus and center of curvature. See that. Next, this is biconvex lens, and next exactly the geometric center is called pole. This is the pole. A line drawn through the pole is called as the principal axis. And next this is what a focus 1, center of curvature 1, focus 2, center of curvature 2. When object is placed here at the center of curvature, image, we'll see that first light ray drawn parallel to the principal axis from the top and reflected ray passes through focus. Second light ray V passes through pole, so exactly it passes, and you see that it exactly these two rays are meet in front of exactly center of curvature. So when object is placed at center of curvature, image also forms at center of curvature. These are what actually real images. The nature of image is what? Real inverted. And next, third case. In third case, this is what actually a biconvex lens, and here it is exactly the center point is called optic center, and this is the symbol of pole. Draw a line, this is a principal axis, and this is what a focal point, center of curvature, focal point, center of curvature. Now we place the object exactly between focus and center of curvature. Okay, object is placed between focus and center of curvature. Next, draw the rays One is from top of object, its reflected ray passes through focus. Another is from the pole, it actually meet beyond the sea. So when object is placed between center of curvature, when object is placed between center of curvature and focus, the image appears beyond C2 and inverted, enlarged. This is very important question, Amma. From this important question, 4-mark question they'll ask you. From this you may get 2-mark question or 4-mark question. Fourth chapter, from 4th chapter, 1 4-mark question like drawing ray diagrams, 2-mark question only formulas. One is a formula of curved surface, and next formula is what? Mirror formula. 1 by f is equals to n minus.
So which activity we should read?
Only third chapter 3 lab activity you read, chapter 1 lab activity. These two are enough. Next I'll tell you that next 4th chapter, 6th chapter, 5th chapter we are having hypermetropy, and that is very important for 4 marks. 4 marks frequently repeated. Only from 3rd chapter 4-mark question they will ask. From 1st chapter all the ray diagram they will ask. This 4th chapter, this ray diagram they may ask for 4 marks or they may ask for 2 marks, but easy to score. And 3rd chapter you will get, from 3rd chapter you will get question, 2-mark question, 1-mark question you will get from 3rd chapter. From there, from digestion system you will get 1 question, and from pH value you will get 1 question. Okay, next one more. When we place the object at focus, so this is what actually biconvex lens, optic center, principal axis, focus.
So 6 ray diagrams from first chapter.
That is a mirror. From 1st chapter ray diagram for mirror. From 4th chapter ray diagrams related to the lens. These are the lens ray diagrams. 1st chapter mirror ray diagrams. Yes, that is important, ma. 1st chapter 6 ray diagrams are important for 4 marks. 3rd chapter lab activity is important for 4 marks. Okay. And here this lens ray diagrams are important. And next, this is what actually focus 1, center of curvature 1, focus 2, center of curvature 2. When object is placed here at focus, first light ray parallel to the principal axis, first reflected ray, and second light ray passing through pole and parallel to each other. You see that the 2 light rays are parallel to each other. When we place the object at focus, image does not exist. Image does not exist. Is it clear? Okay, this 4. And next, very important ray diagram from lens. This one. This is biconvex lens. Here this is the principal axis, pole, focus 1, center of curvature 1, focus 2, center of curvature 2. Object is placed between pole and focus. Here if you place the object between pole and focus, it's very important. And this is the parallel to the principal axis, passes through focus, and it is passes through pole. So then when you extend backward direction, they meet here, we get enlarged image. This concept we use in binoculars. So they will ask you the question, so which lens we use in the binoculars to see the long object? Biconvex lens we use, because when object is placed between pole and focus, it produces enlarged image towards the object, due to that. So this lens we use in a binoculars. 2-mark question they'll ask you, which lens we use in a binoculars to see the outer celestial object? Which lens we use in binoculars to see that outer celestial object? What is the reason? Biconvex lens we use in a binoculars to see the outer celestial objects, because when we place the object between pole and focus, it produces the enlarged sized image. So that we use this. From this chapter, we have only these questions. And here, they will ask you types of lens. There are 5 types of lens. What is a lens? What is a lens? Write the types of lens. What is a lens? Lens is an optical device which has both the sides opaque, transparent surface. So they will ask you the question, what is lens? What is lens? What is lens? Draw the types of lens. Write the types of lens. Write the types of lens. Okay. What is lens? Write the types of lens. What is a lens? Lens is a transparent, lens is an optical device which has both the side transparent material. Which has both the side transparent. There are 5 types of lens. One is biconvex lens. Biconvex, like this. And second is plano-convex. This is a plano-convex. Third is biconcave. Fourth is plano-concave. Fifth is concavo-convex. So this is important question. Very, very important question. Gunshot question. What is lens? Write the types of lens. What is lens? Lens is an optical device which has both the sides of the transparent material. There are 5 types of lens: biconvex lens, plano-convex lens, biconcave lens, plano-concave lens, and concavo-convex lens, convexo-concave lens. 6th type, if you draw like this, convexo-concave lens. And next we are enter into the next gunshot questions from 5th chapter. So easy and compulsory gunshot question. Okay. Okay, human eye and colorful world. Human eye and colorful world. Colorful world. దీంట్లో gunshot question. What is gunshot question? What is myopia? What is hypermetropia? These are the gunshot questions. Okay. Myopia is an eye disorder in which a person can see near object, cannot see the far object. Okay. Hypermetropia is an eye disorder which is what actually a person can see, what is actually cannot see the near object but can see the long object. Hypermetropia. Is it clear? Hypermetropia and myopia. Figures are very important. See, first you draw what actually a spherical and make it what actually show that middle part is a sharp curve and you keep a lens here and this is called a retina. Here you write this is a retina, this is the eye lens. Now it is what L is compulsory, O is compulsory. L is compulsory, O is compulsory. These points are compulsory. Now you draw the lines.
Sir, why is the image formed at infinity when the object is at focus?
What?
Sir, why is the image formed at infinity when the object is at focus?
Yeah. Because I'll tell you the question. Now actually, for example, this is a convex mirror, pole and principal axis, focus and center of curvature. Here you place the object, first light ray passes through focus, second light ray in the direction. See what actually, when you extend it backward direction, may it is intersect at any point. At long distance it intersect. So that they'll call you a point size image formed when we place at focus. When we place at focus, okay, what is the question? Why it is appear? Because the reflected ray parallel to each other. You write the reflected rays are parallel to each other, so that the image appears a point sized at infinite. Okay. Because the reason is what? The reflected rays are parallel to each other. The reflected rays appear parallel to each other, so that image appears as a point size at infinite. Means what? At a long distance. Okay. Amma, here you need to remember myopia, point L is compulsory, point O is compulsory, and point M is compulsory, because if you don't point this, you don't get marks here. Marks will be reduced. So here the rays are meet on the retina. When you draw like this, no eye disorder. Now myopic eye, this is what actually eyeball, eye lens, biconvex lens. ఇది myopic eye disorder rectification, correction of myopia. Correction of myopia అంటే compulsory biconvex lens, biconcave lens, sorry.
Sir, prism activity is important.
What one?
Sir, prism activity.
Prism activity, okay. Formula you remember, but prism activity you remember the formula, but instead of that we are having many activities we discuss, that you focus. Prism activity you remember the formula prism. What formula? Sin what actually a plus d by 2 by sin a by 2. This is what the refractive index of prism. This formula you remember, but prism activity, instead of prism activity, don't focus on prism activity, but you learn what is prism. Prism is what? A transparent triangular shape material. What is the use of prism? When light passes through the prism, it split a single light beam into multi 7 colors. Okay, that you remember, but instead of activity you learn this myopia and hypermetropia. It is gunshot question. Prism, we cannot say that is exactly gunshot or not. Okay, but myopia correction, myopia and myopia correction by convex lens. Any problem? Here it is a L compulsory, M compulsory, O compulsory. Now the rays which are, when object is placed here,
Sir, all quantum numbers. All quantum numbers.
Yeah, that will come next chapter, the quantum numbers beta. From 5th chapter, myopia you read, hypermetropia you read. I am stretching you here from this L, M, O compulsory. For hypermetropia, L compulsory, H compulsory, O compulsory. Okay. So biconcave lens we use for myopia, biconvex lens we use for hypermetropia. Okay. And from this chapter, what is the power of lens? That is important question for 1 mark, gunshot question. What is the power of lens? Power of lens, the reciprocal of focal length. The reciprocal of focal length is called power of lens. Power of lens P is equals to 100 by F in centimeter, 1 by F in meter. Power of lens measured in diopters D. This is what very important gunshot question for 2 marks. What is power of lens? Power of lens is what? The reciprocal of focal length is called power of lens. Power of lens formula is P is equals 100 by F centimeters or 1 by F meter. It is measured in diopters. It's very important question. And from 5th chapter, what you said? Prism, scattering and dispersion. What is the dispersion? The splitting of single light into different frequencies is called dispersion. That definition is compulsory. 1 mark question, dispersion. What is the dispersion? Splitting of single light into a group of multicolors with GR. This is called dispersion. Okay, here prism will come, but prism activity you don't read. Prism activity you may.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second
Dispersion. It's a very important Gansat question. What is dispersion? It is a splitting of single light into multicolors is called dispersion. And next, what is scattering? What is scattering? See, this is what atom, and it is a light. When this atom absorbs the light and re-emit the light, this is called re-emitter. So absorption, atom absorbs the light energy and re-emit the light energy, that is called scattering. So scattering is a phenomenon where atoms, they absorb the frequency of light and re-emit the different frequencies of light energies. It is called a scattering of light. Ikkada మీకు gunshot question, why light appears blue in color and why light appears red in color? These are the gunshot question for either 2 marks or 4 marks. Why? Because air.
Sir, what is accommodation of the eye?
Okay. Accommodation is a 1 mark question, ma. The adjustment of eye focal length. See, this is what actually eyeball. This is the eye lens. So here ciliary muscles. So when you see the long object, ciliary muscles are relaxed. The lens focal length increase. When you see the close object, ciliary muscles are strained. The focal length is what actually reduces. Like a ciliary muscles adjust the focal length of the lens. That is called accommodation. Accommodation is a process. Adjusting the focal length by the help of a ciliary muscles is called as accommodation. Is it clear? So when we see long object, focal length decreases. When you see near object, focal length increases. How it happens? With the help of ciliary muscles it happens. This process is called the adjusting, increasing, decreasing focal length is called as accommodation. And next, why light appears blue in color? Because the presence of nitrogen. This is the air. Here this is the nitrogen. This is the oxygen. Okay. When light fall on the nitrogen atom, oxygen atom, they absorb the light energy and they re-emit light with the frequency of blue color, so that sky appears blue in color. This is the reason. Only you remember this. Now these atoms of nitrogen and oxygen we called as scattering centers. Atoms of nitrogen and oxygen we called as scattering centers. So it is a gunshot question. Gunshot question. Why sky appears blue in color? Why sky appears blue in color? Air consists of majority of nitrogen and oxygen. When light fall on the nitrogen and oxygen, it absorbs the light and re-emit blue wavelength light. That is called as scattering of light. That is called as scattering of light. This scattered nitrogen and oxygen scatters blue wavelength. Nitrogen and oxygen scatters blue wavelength. And next question, why sky appears red in color during night, during morning and evening? During morning and evening. See, sun, earth. During morning and evening, during sunset and sunrise, the distance between the sun and earth is maximum, so that when light, even light emit multicolors, all the colors wavelength is less, so they they vanish. Only the red color having high frequency, high wavelength and low frequency, so that they travel long distance. Okay, here sun and earth during sunset and sunrise, the distance between sun and earth is the maximum, so all the colors they vanish and only red color travel long distance because high wavelength, low frequency. So that is important. Okay. 5th chapter gunshot questions I discussed, ma. And 6th chapter very important. What is first? Quantum numbers. Okay, and next they will ask you quantum number, they will ask you, and Bohr's atomic model they will ask you, and next electronic configuration and Abbo's principle, Hund's rule, that will discuss now. First, quantum numbers. What are the quantum numbers? Numbers which explain about size of orbit and shells of inner shells of atom, size of atom, inner shells of atom, orientation of electrons.
The formula.
Yeah, I'll tell now for less. These are called quantum numbers. There are 4 quantum numbers. One is the principal quantum number, and second is the azimuthal quantum number, third is the magnetic quantum number, fourth is the spin quantum number. It is proposed by Niels Bohr. It is proposed by Arnold Sommerfeld. It is proposed by Lande. It is proposed by Gaudsmit. Okay, and this is explained about the size and energy and the formula, and see, principal quantum number explains about size and energy, and the principal quantum number denoted with the letter n, and principal quantum number formula n square, it explains about number of shells. Principal quantum number 2n square, it explains the formula how many electrons it consists. Okay, for example, n is equals to 1 square, it has only one shell. Number of electrons 2 into 1, 2, it has only 2 electrons. N is equals to 2, 4 square, 2 square means 4, it has 4 subshells. And what is 2 into 4, 8. Second shell, it has 8 electrons. So that this is about. And next we go for azimuthal quantum number, and denoted with the letter L, and the formula is what? L is equals to n minus 1. So the values are 0 to n minus 1. The values are 0 to n minus 1, and it explains about
Sir, the rainbow in circle shape or in curved shape?
yeah, that why the rainbow appears in a arc bow-like structure. It is a geometrical, you know that.
Sir, how
that
rainbow forms?
Yeah, that I'll explain, beta. That I'll explain. That is not actually today. I'm discussing only gunshot questions. But though I'll explain you the interpretation of the chemical equations and rainbow, but according to my mindset, I am thinking about only average, below average students, now you all are excellent only, but the thing you people are, one day you will fight. All students, they always work hard during 1 day, 2 day. Because of that, I am explaining only gunshot questions. Okay, and whatever the questions you are what actually sending the message, I'll discuss with you after this. But this is the major question. So azimuthal quantum number, Arnold Sommerfeld, denoted with the letter L, the formula n minus 1. This you remember. Here L value, n value 1, n value 1, L value 1 minus 1, 0. This is s orbital. And n value 2, L value is what actually? 1, 2 minus 1, 1, but this one will write a 0, 1, SP. If n value 3, the L value is what actually? 3 minus 1, 2. This 2 value 0, 1, 2. This is what? S orbital, P orbital, D orbital. So like that, you remember. And next we go for Lande. It is a ML, azimuthal quantum number ML, and ML formula is what? 2L plus 1. ML formula is 2L plus 1. You remember this? Here we'll write minus L, 0 plus L.
Sorry, battery is 5%.
No problem. We'll discuss with this. Oh, you just keep close. Okay. And here, this is a spin quantum number minus 1 by 2 for a what actually clockwise, plus 1 by 2 is the anti-clockwise. Minus 1 by 2 is what? Clockwise, plus 1 by 2 is what? Minus 1 by 2 is a anti-clockwise, plus 1 by 2 is a clockwise. You remember this? And I'll ask you, Here you remember beta. One more gunshot question. What is the shape of s orbital? Shape of s orbital. It's very important. Easy to score. Spherical. It's a circle. You draw the circle. Shape of s orbital is spherical. You draw the circle. This is the shape of 1s orbital. Shape of 1s orbital, which is spherical in shape. Shape of s orbital is spherical. And shape of p orbital. Next, the shape of p orbital, it's very important. Shape of p orbital. What is that? P orbital, when they ask p orbital, you take px, py, pz and draw here x, y, z. Draw 3 axes x, y, z. Draw 3 axes x, y, z. When px, you make the x-axis dumbbell. When py, you draw the y-axis as dumbbell. Pz, draw the z-axis as dumbbell. So this is very important question. Draw the shape of p orbital. This shape is called dumbbell shape. You need to draw these 3 figures. Px, draw the x-axis dumbbell. Py, draw the y-axis dumbbell. Pz, draw the z-axis dumbbell. It's very important question. Now one more important question. 4 mark gunshot question. Draw the shape of d orbital. 4 mark dumbbell. 4 marks drawing question. Draw the shape of d orbital. It is very important. Draw the shape of dumbbell. The d orbital. This is d orbital. There are 5 d orbitals. One is a dxy. You draw only 2 axes xy, x, y, and draw the dumbbells here. One dumbbell and second dumbbell. Now dyz. Draw the 2 axes. One is a y-axis, z-axis. First dumbbell, second dumbbell, and dzx. Draw the 2 axes. Same as it is, z and x. First dumbbell, second dumbbell. Now 3 are dxy, dyz, dzx. These are same as it is, but xy, yz, zx. Next, dx square minus y square. You draw like x and y, but here you draw over the axis.
Sir, can you draw figure big, sir?
What ma?
Sir, draw big figure big, sir.
Yeah. Okay, dz square అమ్మా. dz square అంటే ఒకటే యాక్సిస్ తీసుకోవాలి, ఇలా డ్రా చేయాలి, దీనికి ఎట్లా స్పైరల్స్ చుట్టాలి. dz square. They will ask you the question, draw the shape of d orbital. You need to draw this 5 dxy. Once again dxy means you take x, y and draw dumbbell, one dumbbell, first dumbbell and second dumbbell. This is called dxy. So similarly you repeat same 5 orbitals like that only. Is it clear? What is the shape of this? This is double dumbbell. What is the shape of this? It's a double dumbbell. It's a double dumbbell. Okay. And next మనకి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్. నేను అంతా ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయను, బట్ నైట్రోజన్ కంపల్సరీ. నైట్రోజన్ Z is equals to 7. The electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Next, chromium compulsory amma. Chromium Z is equals to 24. The electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, it's not
Sorry. Say it is.
1s2, chromium Z is equals 24, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. ఇక్కడ ఏం రాయాలంటే 4s1 రాయాలి, 3d5 రాయాలి. ఇక్కడ 4s2 రాయొద్దు, You don't write 4s2. As per the rule, you need to write 4s1 and 3d5. Okay, is it clear? And next we go for copper Z is equals to 29. Write the electronic configuration of copper 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d10. ఇక్కడ 4s1, 3d10. So these three elements are having special electronic configuration, so that frequently they repeat electronic configuration of this. It's a very gunshot question. Write the electronic configuration of three elements. Is it clear? One more gunshot question. One more gunshot question.
Sir, at last, can you explain how to balance chemical question?
Yeah, that I'll explain. One more gunshot question. One more gunshot question.
Sir, Paul's principle is important.
What is Abbo's principle? What is Abbo's principle? Abbo's principle states that the accommodation of electrons first we accommodate in least energy orbital. So that is the Abbo's principle. And next, Hund's rule. According to the Hund's rule, among degenerate orbitals, electrons are arranged one in each first. And that is important. These two are important. And what is Abbo's principle? What is Hund's rule? And what is the Pauli's exclusive principle? Pauli's exclusive principle, they may ask, they may not ask. But Abbo's principle, they'll ask you. And Hund's rule, they'll ask. What is Abbo principle? According to the Abbo principle, the accommodation of electrons while writing electronic configuration, first we accommodate least energy orbital.
Sir, portion.
Up to here only the portion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, all gunshot questions are finished. Okay, and balancing chemical equations. So, and interpretation, my battery is only 5% ma, but I would like to take, but it is only 5%. So that balancing, first you take that. First we'll go what actually CaO, calcium oxide. When water is added to H2O, it is become calcium hydroxide CaOH taken twice. Okay. And instead of this, here you see, this is LHS and it is RHS. And write the elements towards LHS, towards RHS. Here you check. Calcium is 1. Calcium is 1. Oxygen, there are 2 oxygens. Hydrogens, there are 2 hydrogens. RHS, we'll check RHS. 1 calcium. This 2 is applicable for oxygen. This 2 is applicable for hydrogen. So here, calciums are same in LHS RHS, oxygens are same in LHS RHS, hydrogens are same in LHS RHS. So that it is a balanced chemical equation. Now when it is not balanced, we'll see next. It is a balanced already. The elements towards LHS are equal to elements towards RHS. These are equal. Now we'll go with another chemical equation. Okay, children, any other chemical equation like we'll go with acid. So which acid will take? Okay, HCl plus Na2CO3, which gives rise to NaCl plus CO2 plus water. Now here NaCl plus water. So now this is a chemical equation. We'll go to the balancing. Now this is what actually LHS part. What is this? RHS part. Now we see the LHS and RHS elements, reactants. These are called reactants. These are called products. Now, how many elements? Hydrogen is one element, chlorine is second element, nitrogen is the third element, carbon is and oxygen. Now we'll see how many hydrogens? One hydrogen. How many chlorines? One chlorine. How many nitrogens? Two nitrogens. How many carbons? One carbon. How many this oxygens? Three. Now we balance. How do we balance? So here sodiums are 2, so that you take 2 here. When you take 2 here, chlorines are become 2, so that add 2 here. So now you see, by adding 2 here and 2 here, it is become balanced. So before adding, you check it here. Hydrogens here 2, chlorines 1, nitrogen 1, carbon 1, oxygens 3. So these hydrogens are not balanced, sodiums are not balanced. To balance, what we do? We'll take 2 here and 2 here. So why? Because sodiums are 2, so that I am taking 2 here. So here chlorines are becoming 2, so I am taking 2 here. Now when we take 2, it is become balanced. Okay, and I will send through your groups few balancing chemical equations, and the data interpretation by keeping this charging. I will send you the link while explaining this. You come back. So what are the gunshot questions which I have given? You focus only this. And I'll prepare all objective type questions few. I'll send it to you now. You prepare those objective in your class groups. Okay? Else any doubt, because charging is very 3%. So maybe it is going to be disconnected. So you ask me that balancing chemical equation tomorrow morning. I'll be in the school little early, so that those who are having doubt, you come with. If you come a little early, I'll be with you to rectify your doubts. But don't give up. You all are talented. I know, because I'm teaching you people since many years. You all are talented. Why? You learn before one day all the entire syllabus, and you present your answers so superb and extraordinary. That is my feeling. If you spend your time at least 1 month before, 2 months before, surely you will get state rank. That confidence I'm having, because I am observing you people since many years. You will read only in front of exam, and you will write exam such a beautiful presentation. That confidence I'm having. My intention is what? You people spend little more time, surely you will get state rank. Don't give up. Try to work hard. This live session, depends upon data, and live session depends upon mobile charging. I came directly from school to my tuition point to take for you. So the charging is low. That is the problem. But hope I'm satisfied to give you all this gunshot questions. You focus only on this gunshot question. Once you glance over all this, and tomorrow you have any doubt, that data interpretation, this board is not visible. Even I write also, you can't see it. So tomorrow morning I'll explain you that data interpretation. One fine day, when you are with a peace of mind, not in front of exam, once again I'll explain you data interpretation for you. Hope you understand. All the best, and best of luck everyone. Read. You all are more energetic students. Bye, and see you tomorrow. Best of luck for you all.
ओपन नहीं होता